Okay, so this is a theory I've had for a while. A question. In 1996 dollars, it was $1 million. What would the accrual today be? Let's put it another way. You're a lawyer and you've got an escrow account for $1 million that you set up in 1996. What would have been the maximum rate of interest you would have put on that account so that it accrued to have how much today? What is the a rate of interest that an attorney places or obtains for an account where they take a certain amount of money and keep it in escrow? What's the maximum amount of time that an attorney can keep money in escrow in connection with a case? Let's say it's a case connected to war crimes. Let's say you were a lawyer working in connection with the federal government when they had that emergency appropriations bill that had all of those military appropriations, including $1 million to investigate war crimes in Bosnia. $1 million. How much would that be today? Would that be enough to make a sizable investment in energy transfer partners? Because you've succeeded in getting enough political risk insurance for all of those actual pedophiles in the goddamn government. And for all of the digital rapists that were talking about economic stabilization after they intentionally engaged in acts of bankruptcy and then got their co-conspirators in Congress to cover it up and harvest all of the American people into paying for their intentional default. And you've got all of this insurance coverage for your telemedication regime after you've already traumatized our neuro pathways and allowed for some monetary kickbacks to a couple of people as a way to give a waiver of liability to the opiate industry while it's helped set up the infrastructure for you to code our biological, physiological processes so that the other sector, which right now is getting its payday, which is the energy sector, that's engaging in an act of global biological terrorism in order to try to socially engineer us into acceding to acts of peonage, including sexual peonage, in our own home, where our energy and biorhythms can not only be monitored, but surveilled and conditioned and programmed into responding, reacting, and participating in specific manners if we want what? To eat, to sleep, to be able to get hot water, to take a shower, to be able to get on the fucking internet without literally having to plug something into our fucking vagina in somebody else's name, to figuring out a way to de escalate our hyperactive little girls when they have that happen to them. The few times nowadays they're allowed to go into public places where they're being surveilled. I'm absolutely fucking serious. What were you going to spend it on? How many shares of stock did members of Congress and the Senate hook up in connection with that horrible act of rape that Energy Transfer Partners just tried to broker? I'm looking at this right now. I just want to say it's only a minute and 37 seconds. What do you think it says?
This spa hotel in Bosnia-Herzegovina may look like a perfect spot for winter holidays, but it has a dark past.
You don't say.
Hotel Vilina Vlas in Visegrad was once a rape camp. An estimated 200 women were kept captive and tortured here during the Bosnian War, when Muslims were ethnically cleansed by Bosnian Serb forces between 1992 and 1995. Today, The town of Visegrad remains in the Serb-administered part of Bosnia, and the memory of the horror is being deliberately erased. Visitors from around the region enjoy the hot tubs, which were once filled with blood. Among the guests was this year's Nobel Prize winner, Austrian writer Peter Handke, who openly supports the genocidal Serbian regime of Milosevic.
Nakon 3 odvođenja, 3 silovanja, mnoge moje komšije su odvedeni i ubijeni. Ubijali su civile gdje su zatekli u kući, palili su kuće, silovali su žene, odvodili su muškarce i sve misliš, Bože, da li je ovo sanjam, da li je ovo istina.
Almost 25 years on after the genocide, the memories of the survivors are still vivid. So, isn't allowing a symbol of the pain to run business as usual a punishment for its victims?
Between 1992 and 1995, I was attending high school. I was attending high school at a military installation in the state of Virginia. I did not know at the time that when they told me that I was qualified to participate in a mock trial as part of a demonstration of my capacities, that what they were doing was setting up a proxy for somebody else's trial. The allegations were sexual abuse of power by the President of the United States. He was never convicted. Neither was his wife. How much did that accrue? I've already had to pay for the legal fees assessed to Bill Clinton for that trial. Did you see it? Did you see them shake hands with my vagina? Did you see it? Plenty of other people did. Did you like it? Did you anticipate that it was going to make you money? Would you call it green energy? You didn't really think you were going to get away with this, did you? If you let that committee meeting happen tomorrow, you are not going to be able to even request mercy for what you've brought on yourself. Not because I'm being violent or because I'm threatening you, but that's what you've accrued. I will use every single fucking cent. Do you understand? You haven't paid me anything for what you stole from me, my family, my sister, my children, the students I used to teach, the people I used to know. Entire communities of people have been obliterated. I already know. You didn't spend that money. Nobody did. And I'm going to use every fucking cent to prosecute every single one of you.